Hi friends. Hi friends. So today is one of the, you can't say very important topic, but okay, means many of the students have this doubt that why is trade finance one of the highest paying verticals? You see, in retail banking, when you are working in retail banking, the same level, if somebody is working in trade finance, that person is having a higher salary. So many of us feel that I'm also working, I'm also same level, at the same level, that person is also at the same level. Why is he or she having higher salary? So today we'll be discussing the same topic. Again, why is trade finance one of the highest paying verticals? And importantly, if you have to grow in trade finance, you have to give very important exam that is called as CDCS, Certified Documentary Credit Specialist. The whole channel is about that, right? CDCS Adda 24/7. Subscribe to this, click on the bell icon, don't miss this, okay? So this is very important, okay? Because this topic will clear many doubts in your mind. And why should you go to trade finance? Many of the bankers ask me, sir, should I continue in the retail banking or should I move in the trade finance or specialize? See, not only trade, there are other specializations also, treasury, corporate finance. Main is this, means trade finance is something international trade. Generally, when we talk of trade finance, we mean international trade. And for that, you need CDCS. I'll cover that CDCS part later. So let's start with the topic. Okay. Why is trade finance the highest paying verticals in banking? Okay. So the real point over here is why trade finance is one of the highest paying, means paid jobs as such in banking verticals. See, there are 3-4 verticals which are having a lucrative salary. For example, trade finance, treasury, okay, corporate finance. Also, it depends on the level in which you are working. But if you compare the same level in various fields, you will get higher salaries in these 3-4 which I have told you: trade finance, treasury, okay, corporate finance. You will get higher salaries. So why is it? What is the problem? What is the point? Let me be specific about trade finance. Okay. Because we are in CDCS, means we have to plan for CDCS. So let me discuss in details about trade finance and indirectly CDCS only. So why is trade finance one of the most paid, highest paid jobs? Very important, very simple reasons I'll give you. I won't go too hi-fi language. Simple. Specialized expertise requirements. Now, if I give you a LC, anyone, just take this LC, check this and give me some solutions. And I'll give you a set of documents also. Anyone who is not a trade finance specialist or who has not worked in trade finance, that person will not be able to understand what is happening in this. And the LC amounts are not, means see, simplest LC amount is generally, if you talk of international LC, the average LC amounts are around $60,000 to $70,000 per transaction, average. Now, even if you consider $60,000 to $70,000, let's take it simple, $50,000. Then also the amount becomes huge, isn't it? So even a single mistake in this may cost you heavy. What all, that we'll discuss. So specialized expertise required. Trade finance cannot be handled by any Tom, Dick and Harry. It needs special knowledge, special skills which are developed over time, and along with the exams like CDCS, they will give you specialized skills, how to check the documents. These are really good. This exam is really good. I have myself done CDCS. I am taking classes on Adda 24/7. So, specialized expertise requirements. I'll show you one simple example. See this. Now, if you look at this, take this. This is one sample LC. I've got it from social media only. The amounts involved in these LCs are around, means I have myself handled a LC of $550 billion. $550 billion. Imagine a single mistake from my side on this in 550 billion would cost such a heavy amount. Means it's such a huge amount that many of us can't even earn throughout our life also, isn't it? It's that heavy. So these are the types. See, if you see this LC, you have to go through each and every element in this. Similarly, the documents presented against this LC are, one example I have just taken, transport document. Okay. So this transport document carries various smaller elements which are to be checked. Whether the agent has signed, the agent has a name, is a named agent, whether the relationship between the agent and the carrier is identified, whether the carrier name is identified, whether the goods description are correct. I mean, this is just one example I am showing. Whether the port-to-port loading is correct, if it's a BL. What are the rules for BL? What are the other rules for some other documents? Because trade finance is not related or not limited to a single country or single region. Everywhere where human being exists, there is a need for goods and services. So as there is a need, there should be a supply. There are various countries in the world who are developed, who have specialized skills, so they'll manufacture and they'll send it to others. So sending from one country to another is what? Trade finance, international trade, right? So that's why if you look at this, this is just example I was taking, okay? Many typical points are there. In every document there is a typical point. You call it any document, you call it invoice, insurance, bill of lading, bill of exchange, packing list, certificate of origin, plus others, many documents. So that's why using the special skills, if you have to get the special skills, so that's why quality comes at a cost, isn't it? Simple. High profitability for banks. Means one transaction, I told you, $550 billion LC I had handled. Now imagine $550 billion, even if I get 0.1%, if the bank gets commission of 0.1%, then also what will be the amount? If you want to earn the same amount in retail banking, how many loans will you have to disburse? What will be the cost in that? Employee cost, salary cost, this hardware cost, right? Running expenses. So, your profitability is huge. Average transaction I told you $50,000. Now, even if the bank takes, let's say 0.1% on this 50,000, then also the commission goes to such a huge amount, and you compare it in INR, then it's where, right? The complexity and risk associated with international transactions. Now, what are the complexities? See, just now I told you some documents. I showed you the documents, but documents are not the only thing. There are other things as well. Means, what are the other points? Everything is okay. LC is okay, the documents are okay, everything is okay. But that country through which the LC is issued is not up to the mark. The countries, they have huge political turmoils. Then who will handle that LC? You must have that knowledge also. Not only documents knowledge, you must have the knowledge of geopolitical situation going on in the world. You need to have this knowledge. The country which has issued it is not trustworthy. Or, second case, the country is good, but the company, the bank who has issued this LC is not trustworthy. It can happen that also. Bank who has issued, country is good, but the bank who has issued is not. This all the trade finance professional needs to know through the database. The database is maintained by each bank, the specific department. That's why these guys have high salaries. The complexity and the risk associated with the international trade. Many things are there. Force majeure issues are there. One government takes over, topples down. Second government comes, military rule comes. Right? There are floods, famines happening in the countries. Earthquakes happening. wars happening, Russia-Ukraine war, what will be the effect? The trade finance professional needs to have that at the back of his or her mind while working on this. Tomorrow if the war gets blown up, what will happen to our LCs? What will happen to our exposures? These all are the points which every trade finance professional needs to think. A consistent demand for high skilled professionals, obviously, because here, as the population of the world grows, right? As the population of the world grows, so does the demand for goods and services grows, right? So if the demand grows, there will be a supply. Now the supply can be from the local country, from my country only. My demand is growing, I can supply it from my country only. But there are certain theories of manufacturing. Specifically, if someone has studied this only in theory, it says that, see, whenever you are to supply something, it can happen that the cost at which you make, the other country might be making it at a cheaper cost. So it's better to buy from somebody. So these theories are applied. Again, so important part over here is, kindly note, a consistent demand, because the international trade is increasing consistently. Many countries are starting to develop new things, like our country. We are a huge GDP now, right? So we have a huge production. Same thing with China. We can produce and we can sell it to the world. So once we start selling to the world, there will be an international trade, there will be a LC, there will be a BL. So that's why the consistent demand for skilled professionals. Global opportunities. Now this is one of the best, you can say, opportunity for any CDCS or trade finance professional. Any. Why, I'll tell you. Specifically CDCS I'll talk. Because CDCS is one of the, not one, it is the main exam in trade finance. For document checker. The important point you note, if I am working in Bharat, I can shift immediately next month to some other country in Europe and start working at the same level or at a higher level and start working with the same comfort. Why? Because the trade finance rules and regulations of UCP, ISBP, ISP, URR, EUCP, they are same throughout the world. So what I am working over here, same I'll be working in Europe, same I'll be working in Africa, same I'll be working in some Japan. The rules and regulations remain the same for UCP, ISP, ISBP, URR. Okay, all the rules are same. So because of this, what happens? One person working over here gets opportunity in any other country. That's why the company has to retain that person, because it's a skilled professional, right? So these are some of the important reasons why the salaries of trade finance professionals are so huge. Now, if this trade finance professional makes an error, makes a mistake, what are the penalties? Some penalties are written, some penalties are not written. Reputational risk. I have not mentioned, I think so. Yeah. I have not mentioned over here. Reputational risk. If my name is gone, suppose if the news in the world spreads that this bank doesn't honor the LC properly, don't accept these LCs. The world will stop accepting my LCs. If the world stops accepting my LCs, what will happen? My whole trade business will be zero. And why? Because of some trade finance professional who is non-knowledgeable has done some error. The whole reputation in the whole world banking fraternity is gone. Right? So that's why these are the written penalties, and these reputational risks I have not written, but it's a common penalty, right? Financial penalties, huge penalties in finance if I make an error, The penalties can be from various countries, various jurisdictions. From my local country, it will be there. Local law, it will be there. ICJ, the cases go to ICJ, international courts. So there also the penalties can be levied. The country which is affected, they might have their own laws and regulations. They will affect certain other penalties. So the repercussions can be from various angles. Operational and discrepancy fees, right? Huge fees would be charged from me also as a professional, or if the customer makes an error, the bank will charge him or her. Credit and legal consequences, isn't it? Credit means your name. Legal means, as I told you, in various countries the cases can be filed. The case can be filed where the nominated bank is there. The case can be filed where issuing bank is there. The case can be filed where the beneficiary is there. Case can be filed where the reimbursing bank is there. Means in various countries, the cases can be filed. So, how long will you fight the cases? In whichever country will you go? Very difficult. That's why the professional needs to be very sharp thinking, okay, and have the knowledge of the technical knowledge completely. Regulatory measures, isn't it? Regulations means your central banks. RBI will come in picture. Some other countries, central bank will come in picture. And if you want to really go ahead and really get the proficiency, you have to do the CDCS. CDCS exam for you is a must in trade finance. Anyone who is planning for this trade finance, career in trade finance, has to go for CDCS. Kindly note. Okay? In CDCS, at Adda 24/7, we do provide the courses for CDCS also now. Okay? The course for CDCS is huge, I'll tell you. It will give you the entire knowledge of all the 5 elements. UCP, ISP, ISBP, URR, EUCP, everything you will get it. Okay? See this. See this, Certificate in Documentary Credit Specialist. The exam is conducted by LIBF London. The exam is tough, but we take the courses for this. It will give you a huge boost in your career. Okay? Use the code Vishal sir, I'll give you the code also. See, if you use the code for purchasing, you will get 50% off directly. Click on buy now. Okay? You will get 50% off directly. Use the code VISH, VISHALSIR, Vishal sir, 50. Directly 50% off you get. Plus, if you want some installments, you can speak on the number given. The number is over here. See, kindly call on the number. Okay? See this, the number is over here. Hold on. You can call, see the number is given on the front page itself. Okay? Do call on the number and you will get the discount immediately, installments also. Don't miss this. Okay? Because it is a career boost for you. All of you, it's a career boost. Means what all you earn in your retail banking up to the age of 58. In trade finance, you learn up to the age of 35 and 40 only. The full amount. Okay? See this number 919240023281. 919240023281 and never forget the code Vishal sir 50. Okay? Bye.